Today we need to talk about something that has shaken the entire community using AI music tools. What happened isn't just a technical update, but a head-on collision between these platforms and the owners of actual music catalog. For months we've seen how generators like Udio or Suno let users create songs by simply describing a style, energy or genre, and the system delivered complete tracks with vocals and instruments. Many people produced huge catalogs without needing a studio, learning music theory or playing instruments, just starting with an idea. These tracks went viral and generated massive plays, but beneath this explosion was an issue that would eventually blow up. What material was used to train these models? Well, record companies claim these companies took massive amounts of protected recordings directly from the internet without permission and without paying anything for those works. And for them, that's not legitimate use, but what they call industrial scale theft. That's why major labels like Universal, Sony, and Warner took action. The first outcome already happened. Universal reached an agreement with Udio that immediately and radically changed the platform, deactivating downloads of AI-created songs without warning and blocking millions of tracks overnight. Some creators had spent over a year, 10 hours daily, building hundreds of tracks, entire soundtracks and small pieces, and suddenly couldn't download anything they'd already made. They weren't asking for refunds, just an export window without extra charges for files they had already created themselves. The reaction was so massive that the company ended up providing a 48-hour window to recover projects created before the exact moment the change took effect. Only during that period could users retrieve their work under the previous terms of use, while new content would be marked, controlled, and inaccessible. This agreement is crucial because it sets a precedent for the entire industry. Some lawyers are already citing it as a case example. From that point on, it's clear the unregulated era has begun to end. Going forward, the principle is if AI wants to operate, it must pay licensing fees and work only with authorized content. This means fewer fully AI-generated songs and more filtered production, with permissions and boundaries set by artists themselves. But many users aren't taking this transition very well. Some people are formally rejecting contract changes, waiving arbitration clauses, and protesting because they created original music without copying others' work. For them, the platform was just a tool, and now they can't recover their work created there. Meanwhile, Suno remains in legal proceedings with no settlement yet. Labels claim the model was trained on millions of actual songs taken from YouTube and Spotify, bypassing legal protection. This dispute remains unresolved. Organizations like ASCAP, BMI, and SOCAN have stated clearly that training models on protected works without permission or payment isn't fair use. It's theft. They've also defined which types of works qualify for royalty collection. Fully human works? Yes. Support tools? Yes. Human compositions with AI elements? Yes. But pieces entirely generated by AI are not eligible for protection. You can't claim copyright or collect royalties on such work. Looking at terms like Suno's, users grant broad licenses over their inputs, accounts can be suspended, liability is minimal, and free version outputs can only be used non-commercially. And if you're a paying user with content created during your subscription, that result is yours. But there's no guarantee it can be copyrighted if it was entirely AI generated without human input. What's happening isn't just a technical issue, but a shift in who decides what we can do with these tools, who can charge, and what's allowed when systems no longer use unauthorized catalog. And here you're asking for my opinion, right? Because, for example, when training ChatGPT or other video or text models, they've obviously used various resources without asking for permission or rights clearance. They've just stolen content outright. And clearly ChatGPT won't stop developing since competitors like China don't care about these issues and will keep advancing AI while we fall behind. So do you really think this will develop long term? Or is it just a temporary roadblock that major record labels are putting in the way of AI development?